Tonight, Marjorie Taylor Greene doubling down after a fight broke out in front of cameras in a committee hearing. MTG just moments ago saying, quote, AOC isn't intelligent. Jasmine Crockett has fake eyelashes. These aren't attacks on personalities. These are just facts. The House Oversight Committee devolving into a circus late last night. Watch for yourself.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one.
Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, then
Okay,
you're
reserve the right to
your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the minority.
pretty
No,
self-evident.
Chair you're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
I would like to strike
The
those
lady's
as well.
words again.
That's two requests to strike. That's two requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's
control.
the correct parliamentary. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words, but
That-
I'm not apologizing.
Without objection.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman,
I'm
I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman,
I didn't-
motion to
I
strike
have no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just.
You just voted to do
Y'all
it.
did it first, so you
You
don't want to
just
talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm
No,
down.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games,
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
and
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if
Look, Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
out
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
All right, Melanie Zanona joins us now live on Capitol Hill. All right, well, that was embarrassing. What else is Marjorie Taylor Greene saying tonight, Melanie?
Well, Greene is not backing down, and she is not apologizing. Not only did she double down on those insults towards Democrats, but in the last hour or so, she's now attacking Speaker Mike Johnson for criticizing her behavior. Let me read you part of what she wrote on social media. She said, "How ridiculous is it that the Speaker runs his mouth about decorum when our opposition refuses to follow it at all?" Now, Speaker Mike Johnson did not mention Greene by name today, and it's no secret that they have been at odds ever since Greene tried to oust him from the speakership. But Johnson did say that he thought that chaotic outburst last night was regrettable, and he encouraged members to treat each other with respect and dignity and to follow proper decorum. So this really was a big distraction for Republicans who are trying to keep the focus on their efforts to hold the Biden administration accountable. And meanwhile, of course, she is also, Marjorie Taylor Greene, facing heat from Democrats who have pointed out her past history with racist remarks. Congresswoman Crockett said that Greene's decision to point out her eyelashes and talk about her looks was rooted in racism. And that's why Congresswoman Crockett said she felt the need to fight back so hard. But in response, Green's office said the only person who brought up any reference to color was Congresswoman Crockett. But indeed, this was just not one of the finest hours inside the House of Representatives, which frankly, over the past few year or so, has really not seen a lot of high moments, to be frank with you, Aaron.
And a fair point. All right. Thank you very much, Melanie. I want to go now to the Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland. He's the ranking member of that committee you just saw, the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, and we saw you there, obviously, of course, Congressman, on camera in that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene tonight saying she won't apologize, said all she did was state the facts, and she now has words for you. She says, she just posted every single committee hearing, every single floor speech, Democrats attack, smear, and hurl personal insults against President Trump, just like Jamie Raskin did in his opening statement last night. What do you say to her posting this now?
Well, thanks for having me. You know, because there's so much emotion and passion in politics, parliamentary institutions have rules. And the rules are very clear in terms of the language we can use. You can debate the substance of issues, all that you want, in a wide open, robust way. You can debate the process that's taken place as much as you want, but you cannot engage in face-to-face personal insults against other members, including mocking their physical appearance. So this was a failure of leadership when the chairman of the committee declined simply to rule her words out of order and to have them taken down, as Ms. Ocasio-Cortez immediately moved to do. When he refused to do that, at that point, it unleashed the chaos in the committee. And that's what, led to Ms. Crockett's clever answer in the form of a hypothetical question about what the chairman would actually indulge in terms of dialogue going forward. And I told him, if you allow this to take place, you are destroying rules and decorum in the committee. And Ms. Greene had actually done this before when she displayed pornographic photographs, putatively from Hunter Biden's laptop, although that was never proven anywhere. And she displayed them in the committee in a completely irrelevant and immaterial way. It had nothing to do with what we were talking about. And again, the chairman was afraid to discipline her and to tell her no. And at a certain point, the Republican conference is going to have to get on top of their Marjorie Taylor Greene problem. But instead, they continue to empower her.
So, look, Speaker Johnson, there are many in their party who would agree with you, fully, wholeheartedly. Just ask Ken Buck. But I want to play a moment that has gotten a bit lost in all of this drama. And this is near the end when you are practically begging for an adjournment for the night. Let me just play that.
I think these 17-hour days might not work for us.
Something about working, huh?
Yeah, maybe showing up for a vote.
You have a lot to say, being that you're on retainer for the judge's daughter. Sorry, trust fund kid.
Mr. Chairman.
We should strike those words too.
I hope you brought your popcorn.
Mr. Chair,
Strike
we have to
those
strike
after
those as
we
well.
strike the
Mr.
fact that they
Chairman.
called they were making comments about Marjorie's body. So we can do
Mr.
this all night
Chairman.
long, but I have a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
at
this
the
is out of
desk I'd like to
control.
get.
We should adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Motion at the desk.
Mr. Chairman,
I think my body's pretty good. I'm going to be 50
point of order.
this month.
All right, and you could hear her there at the end. Congressman, could you just explain? You made the comment about 17-hour days, but what exactly even happened here? What was the reason that you were all there on a 17-hour day?
Well, I'm glad you're asking, because the markup session that you saw, which was supposed to be about their ridiculous attempt to hold the Attorney General of the United States of America, Merrick Garland, in contempt, was scheduled for 11 a.m. yesterday. And then suddenly, at the very last minute, in the middle of the night, it was moved from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we've not done an unnecessary nighttime session like that, so everybody was trying to find out why. Well, then it turned out, we learned from the media, there were 5 members of our committee who went and followed the spiritual pilgrimage up to Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York during the day, following Speaker Johnson in going up to Trump's trial. The loss of those 5 members meant that the Democrats would have been in a majority on our committee and in the markup session, and therefore they couldn't abide that. So they moved it to 8 p.m. When they got back from New York, and a number of Republican members missed votes in order to go to Donald Trump's trial. When they got back, they tried to truncate the proceeding to cut off debate about whether or not the Attorney General should be held in contempt. They tried to reduce the amount of amendments we could have and the amount of time we could have to introduce amendments. When we successfully thwarted that, at that point, they just began to hurl insults at our members. And then when they got through that period, and maybe you could show this too, for the first time in 70 years, they cut off the minorities' attempt to offer amendments and to have debate on what they were doing. And so in their completely ridiculous effort to sanction the Attorney General of the United States in order to cover up for their historic flop of an impeachment investigation, they trampled pretty much every rule that we had and trashed the decorum of our committee.
Before we go, Congressman, could I just ask you one other thing? Congresswoman Crockett has suggested that alcohol may have been a factor in Green's behavior, which started all of this. Were you able to see anything on that, or have any? Do you think there's anything to that?
Well, but I did not see anybody drinking. There were certainly people drinking out of cups there, and our colleague from New Mexico, Ms. Stansbury, raised that. She asked the question whether there was drinking of alcohol taking place in either the committee rooms or in the hearing. But it was a very raucous frat-style atmosphere that took place at 8 p.m., again, when these members came in from New York, a number of them having missed the legislative proceedings for the day. So this was, to me, a radical breach of decorum. And I would hope that Speaker Johnson, if not Chairman Comer, could get on top of what's taking place over there. But in any event, all of it follows from, the lawlessness of Donald Trump, who made them launch this stupid impeachment investigation in the first place. There's nothing there, and they've got nothing real to talk about.
Congressman Raskin, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You bet.
And next.